Hey, welcome to Tech Tips, everybody. With me, Jacob. Today we have an exciting Yolobox episode because it is the Extreme. It's the new, bigger model of the Yolobox. Now, we have done the InStream, the Pro, and the Ultra so far, and the Extreme is the bigger and better than all of them together. So, it is more than just being bigger and having more inputs because it has 8 inputs instead of 4 and 2 outputs on HDMI. And now also has 5 NDIs that you can do at the same time, which is the wireless network thing. We're also going to go through how to set up a PTZ control and how to control another Yolobox with this Yolobox, and also how to connect an NDI. So it has a lot of compatibilities to many different types of wireless transmissions. So we're going to go through a little bit of that first. So first we can just physically say that it has antennas on the side now to give you more reception and more bigger area that you can be in. So you have better reception of your Wi-Fi and your SIM card, so you can have better range. All right, so another thing that is very interesting, like just going through the menu right first, before we dig into how to set everything up and get it rolling. Here you have a director's mode, so you can have the classic mode that all of the Yoloboxes had before it. On the left side, you have all of your inputs. You pick and choose your inputs as you go, and that's what you get. Now, if you do this on the director's mode, the settings go down to the bottom here, and you have a preview and a program, which is what you're used to if you do any bigger forms of broadcast or so. You have one you can double check that the focus is there, that you're pointing at the right person, then you can have a bigger view of what's going on there. So you can see to the left here what's going to come next, so I can switch between the shots and be ready for it. And then when I'm ready, I press the center button and it goes live, which is very handy, so you can actually see in a slightly bigger screen what's going on. And this is, again, very handy, that not just this tiny screen to see if it's in focus, if they're shooting at the right person, and if the color is right, if it's bright enough, because you need to sometimes tell the camera people or the person on camera to brighten the picture or so at the same time. All right. In the center here, you also have settings for what kind of fade you want, if you want a cut, if you want a slow fade, or a wipe, or just how fast it's going to be as well here on the toggle in the bottom here. See, toggle. So you can go fast and slow. A fade, I guess, would be slower. See, 2 seconds to 0 seconds, like that. I think we're going to go to connecting a separate Yolobox into this Yolobox. So you can have like double studios or 4 more inputs on HDMI on this thing here, and then have them as a single input on this one. And it kind of gives you a wider range of things you can do. For example, we're going to just push plus here to add the Yolobox. This Yolobox has to be set to the same account logged in and to the same YoloLive account. And it has to have a stream started. So even if you just send it to your private Facebook or anything, doesn't really matter. Just send it to a stream out, and you have to set it to a multi-platform, not single, so it goes to the YoloLive cloud network thing. So then you press the red plus, live stream, and then your event name will come up here on the side. So I call that one Extreme, and that's that one, and done. And my third input now is my Yolobox. And if I change the graphics on that, it comes up on this one as well, because I don't have any inputs at the moment, but there you can see, connects straight into here. Other wireless connections is the NDI, SRT, RTMP. You can see them all here in the list. So you have SRT listener or talker, you have NDI, RCMP, and you have a website you can just put in. So if you have any website you want to show off, you have just push the web like here and add your website. Pretty cool too. Now we're going to switch into how to set up an NDI, which is fairly simple. You just press the NDI here, pick up your phone, and you go into your NDI app. No. NDI right there, NDI. Now it will look for an NDI on the network. Shows right here, iPhone pops up. So now I have my cell phone as an input straight into my Yolobox, and you can have up to 5 of them. So if you had people in a crowd, just throw up their camera, and they're in a known network, you can take up any person's camera. Or if they're doing a little phone interview that you want to cut in, you can cut to that, well, as they are in NDI. So that's super useful. All right, I'm going to turn it off for now. Another new fun feature is that you can do PTZ control. And PTZ cameras are the pan tilt zoom. This is the newest op spot we have right here. It has HDMI out straight, which is handy. So you need to connect a video source from your device into the Ultra, and then you have to press. Let's see if I do another one. Let's see here. You connect it, and then you push up in the corner here. PTZ control. Now you have to find the IP address inside of your app or device, and you have to take that IP address and put it in here in the PTZ control, so it knows which camera it's connected to and controlling on the network. So done. It'll connect, and now you see a big toggle on the side here and a zoom and pan. So now I'm controlling this camera back and forth, back to the box, zoom in on the box, like so, zoom out, like so. And you can have a whole bunch of those connected at the same time. You go back again, and this is your input right here. So that's super handy for so many reasons. And again, on your Yolobox, as always, you have your side-by-side, for example. So you pick this one and the wide shot, and say done. And now you have two of them at the same time and a background for your classic interview shot. And you have that as an extra input, and you just take that one. And now I'm standing here at the same time as I can show this box here, so for example. It's very handy. It's a very simple thing. It's very annoying to do if you don't have this easy to use Yolobox. If you're gonna do that on other effects, it's a lot more toggling and juggling around in your settings. Another thing you can do is if you have the GoPro with the media module that also has an HDMI in on it, so you can actually use an action camera as an input as well. And this thing really has a whole lot of options for inputs and streaming in and out, which is a really, really nice thing, and quite unusual to have all of that in the box and actually be useful enough to be able to do it easily, because it all comes down on the screen and it's pretty easy to follow the steps along to get it done. And all these things make this very compatible, it's very usable, it's very user-friendly, it's easy to use. It now looks more and more like a proper broadcast mixer or switcher, and that it's awesome to have, and it's such a small package to use. But in the end of the day, the reason we really like the Yolobox, and especially the Extreme, is that it's now 4K streaming and 4K recording, which is two really big things, because otherwise it's really hard to find options for actually going out in 4K. You can have 4K inputs in many of them and only have 1080 out. But in this case, you not only get the 4K streaming and 4K recording your program, you also get the ISO recording. So if I push the record button here, I can show you. Record. Here you can push 4K in the very end. If you push 4K there, you can have your program, you can have your input 1, 2, and your NDI as well. And now I have 4 inputs in 4K that I'm recording, which is awesome. Before in the Ultra, you had the program or 2 cameras at least. So maybe you had camera 1 and camera 2, or if you have many cameras, like the program and the wide shot, which is great in itself, but now you have more options and you can actually do things. So if you had a multi-camera shoot before and you wanted to actually export it in 4K, you still had to take all of the cards in 4K and post-edit it anyways, if you weren't happy with your mix. But now you actually have all of the ISO recordings on the same card, so it's way easier to take the mix and then add to it as well. I mean, this is an awesome product. I do recommend it. So if you were going to get a bigger broadcast mixer, this is a very good option to do instead. And then you also get all of the multi-streaming platforms without extra units that you have to buy. And in this case, you also have the PTZ control, like we said. You have NDIs in. You can connect to your old Yoloboxes if you have more of them, or build a network of them as well. So you can have Yoloboxes out around your different places with your friends and other people you work with, and then you can connect to each other in a different way. Anyways, this is an amazing product. If we're going to go through all of it, we're going to stay here all day. But this is like the highlights of what's new and improved in the new one. the Extreme. Better than the Ultra, slightly bigger, but you have so many bells and whistles in it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. It's always a pleasure to do Yolobox videos. Yolobox did send us this with a little discount, but okay, of course, our thoughts are our own, and we really just like to test them out and be excited about new tech. If you have any questions about the Extreme itself or Yolobox in general, don't hesitate to comment below. But until then, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.